What's up, baby?
What's up?
How you doing, sir? All right, my man. What are we doing today?
So a little different than last time. So instead of doing the skin fade and just do low on the sides, like a 1 on the sides, with a high taper.
A 1 on the side with a high taper.
Yeah.
And we're still doing the 4 going with the grain?
Yeah.
Is that what it was?
Yeah, and then like a little lower in this area because just wanted to lay down cool.
Okay, sounds good.
How you did it last time was good.
All right, so we're gonna start out by just brushing the hair forward. Being we're cutting with the grain, just gonna clean it up a little bit. For those that are wondering, I am using the JRL clippers, the Onyx clippers, with the master blade on it. That's why I'm using the purple magnetic guards. Doing number 4 with the grain, lightly trimming it. So now where the cowlick is at, I wanna make sure that I'm cutting in the direction still with the grain. So we wanna make sure we're following the growth pattern. Dre, how thick do you want it in the parietal ridge area?
Dark.
You want it dark? So I'm gonna start with a 3 open, and we're just gonna go ahead and come in, blend this 3 open into the 4, so we can leave a little bit of weight in there, and kind of drop it a little bit in the back. Whether I'm doing the fade down technique or whether I fade up, I still like to go ahead and lay my foundation. And after I cut the top first, I found it just makes it easier if you lay this, foundation first and blend into it, because sometimes if you're not careful, you can take the fade up a little bit too high. So I feel like whenever you lay the foundation first, then you know what you can blend into. So yeah, usually I do a hour-long haircut, hour-and-a-half haircut and beard. Being I charge a little bit more than other people charge. I like to make sure that people feel like they're getting their time. If we need to move faster because they're in a hurry, then I can do that. However, I want to make sure that they don't feel like they're being rushed. Being the hair in this area is growing this direction, because I'm going against the grain, I want to make sure that I go in the direction that the hair is growing. Again, I just did a 3 open. Now I'm just gonna jump to a 2 open. I'm not gonna worry about closing that 3. Now I'm just doing that 2 open, just fading it right into that 3 open. I'm keeping in mind that we're dropping just a little bit in the back, so I don't have to set in a guideline to do that. I just see the guideline in my mind and I go ahead and flow with it. So I work Wednesday through Saturday. I try to work pretty long hours Wednesday through Friday. Thursday's my late night, where I'll stay till about 8:30. And then Saturday I try to come in. I like to leave by 2, sometimes 4 o'clock, but I try not to stay too late on Saturdays. All right, so now we're going with a 1.5, and I'll probably just keep that open as well. Just dropping a little bit lower. And just keeping in mind, there's a whole lot that I don't have to clean up right here at the moment because I'm doing a high taper, so I'll come back and get that. I like to do my detail work at the end. I'm trying to pay attention to creating the shape, but also, knocking out any heavy dark spots that I see. If I know I'm gonna cut in a certain area, I'm not trying to go over that same place over and over again, because it wastes my time. For the most part, I like to move through my haircut pretty quick to just lay the foundation as far as, not the detail work, just make sure it's a decent looking cut. And then I come back at the end and I do my detail work. All right, now I'm gonna go ahead and go with a 1, probably about halfway closed. Just kind of tap in this area, because I know that I'm gonna come back in and do the high taper. Not really focus in this area at the moment. I'm gonna try to focus more on the areas that I need to cover. Like I said, I'm gonna come back and blend in this area. So the fade down technique, I started with the 3 open. We dropped a little bit lower, 2.5 or 2 open, and then the 1.5 open. Now I'm doing the 1. As you can see right now from the camera, I kind of have my clipper out. So just so you know, if you put your clipper out or you lay it flat, you can change the length of it just by a little bit. So whenever you get more familiar with your clipper, you pay attention to angles, you pay attention, to where you have your clipper laying at to hit different spots. And I'm gonna blend into this. I don't need to come all the way down here to try to fade that, or to knock that down. I just go where I need to cut. So I'm not focused on cutting hair again. So I'm gonna go in and set in my first guideline with the actual clippers. I don't like to set in my guidelines with my trimmers usually, just because I don't want to set a hard line. So I can always come up and clean this up with my trimmers afterward. And I can do it notch by notch, just slowly open it, tapping at that line, raising it up, or I can go ahead and open it fully and just go ahead and create that next guideline, kind of flicking into what I've already done, trying not to really create a guideline if I don't have to. The less lines you create, the more you don't have to take out. And I'm gonna close it halfway and start tapping at that line. There again, I'm using the corners of the blade. I'm always gonna come back in detail. So there again, right now I'm just trying to give it a good clean blend, but it doesn't have to be perfect. Once I put the lineup on it, I'll come back and see how that looks. I feel like whenever I put a lineup on the blend, it helps me to see the details better. Something about it just makes the blend pop a little more, and then I'll be able to see the different spots that maybe I missed the first time. While I'm on this side, I can go ahead and start the blend on the beard. So I like to usually open my blade fully, drop down a little bit, flick into the line that I just created, the bald line, and then I'll just close it like halfway, move up just a little bit. Basically doing the reverse fade, you're just working your way up now instead of like how we went down. In videos, a lot of times we're so focused on the haircut that we don't pay attention to the hair. However, whenever I'm cutting a client, I'm always looking to make sure that they don't have hair in their face, things like that, because we want to keep them comfortable at all times. And there's nothing worse than, hair falling in your face and just sitting on your nose the whole time. You want the taper a little higher in the back or lower?
Above that, there's like a line right here on the other side. See what I'm talking about? It's like a part almost.
Okay, yeah, right here.
Yeah, just
above that?
Yeah.
All right, once again, just coming in with my clipper blade closed. Now I could try to knock all this down, but if I'm gonna come back a little bit later with the trimmer, I really don't need to, so it's kind of a waste of time. So I'm gonna make that first guideline, gonna open it all the way. Make the second guideline kind of flicking out. That way, I don't have to worry about creating a real harsh line. A lot of times if we create those harsh lines, then what's gonna happen is then we gotta come back and take that line out. If I'm already creating the line that I can see, but I'm flicking at the same time, it's kind of helping blend some of that in already, so I don't gotta sit there and dig out a line the whole time. Start below the first guideline, flicking in towards the second guideline, but I don't wanna go all the way up to that second guideline. Now I'm gonna close it all the way. There again, dropping under that first guideline, just barely flicking with the corner of my blade. Now because we did a one halfway open up there, so I'm gonna go with the zero guard. This is one of those $100, original Andis Master Zero guards. So I have color all over it. I put my name on the inside so it doesn't disappear. But anyway, so I'm gonna open it up all the way and basically we're gonna flick right into that number one that we did earlier. And there again, this is open all the way. Whenever I see hairs that are going in the direction, I need to change the direction that I'm cutting. I was cutting here up because the hair is going down. Because this hair is going that way, I gotta change the direction, go against the grain. Let's reach over here, do the same thing. All right, we're gonna close it halfway and drop below that second guideline. Just flick right up. One of the things I dislike about magnetic guards, if you got a metal clip on there, it'll always try to grab that clip and get stuck to it. So I just put my finger on it and I hold it down while I'm doing this so it doesn't keep grabbing it. Dre, what does the clippers feel like on your head right now?
No, they're smooth.
How's that pressure feel though? Like, what would you say, to other barbers that what it feels like right now?
Like versus like heavy-handed versus light-handed?
Yeah.
No, extremely light. It doesn't feel like the clipper itself is touching my head.
Yeah.
It's just the blades are touching the hair, if that makes sense.
Just blending those sections together. Now the line here is a little heavier than I wanted, so I can either come in with a guard or I could just come in with some thinning shears and kind of lighten that line up a little bit. While I'm here, clipper in hand, there again, we're gonna go ahead and just flick at that. I like to very softly just kind of blend this in right here, the weight, which I'm gonna come blend in more a little bit later. Open, halfway. Just working our way up to that bald line we created. All right, so I'm coming in with a zero, all the way open, just lightly taking my time to just try to knock off this little bulk line right here so it kind of looks like it blends a little better. The reason I don't want to go crazy hard because he does want to leave it a little darker. He does have a little shorter vertical bar, so I got to be careful that I don't just do away with that whole vertical bar. Trying to lift those hairs. I'm gonna close it all the way. Just gonna tap this a little bit. These are obviously the Andis T outliners, Elite Clipper Mod. You can find him on Instagram. He actually sent me the modification for this that you can put like a babeless blade on here. And I've never been able to use them because I just didn't ever like the way they hit, out the box, or zero gap. They just, with the master blade on here, they never really hit like I like. However, I don't want them to go to waste. But if I went ahead and put the babeless blade on there, the babeless blades smack, man. So, all right, so we can go ahead and come in here. I love so many different clippers. I can't really say what's my favorite, just because, man, there's some days that I feel like using one clipper and it's my favorite for that day. And then, and then other days, for whatever reason, I might pick up a pair of trimmers that are my go-to hitters. And for whatever reason, they just don't feel like they're hitting that day, And I can put them down for a little bit, pick them up another day, and then they're hitting again. So I'm gonna go ahead and hit it with a shaver while we're here. Babeless, they just got like the best shavers, man, in my opinion. Their shavers are always so smooth. Usually I like to start kind of in the middle of the ear. And I found that if I set that first line, then I can go this way and go that way with it. But sometimes if you start from back here and you start going over the ear, sometimes you can take it up a little too high. Now his is already a little high, so I can, make sure I don't take it up. Now being I'm on this side of the head, I can go ahead and, just come in, just hit the back of this line.
Was there a moment in time when you opted for your haircuts?
There was a time when it was just fun to do it. I just wanted to do it. And I think that everybody needs to go through that time, whether it's cutting little brothers, cousins, family members, whatever. You just need to go ahead and have that time where you can, come in and cut.
All right, guys, we got the Tune 45 wireless charger mat. What made this so unique, this is actually what kind of revolutionized the whole barber game, because it was like the first ever barber mat that gave you the capabilities of charging your clipper wirelessly. All it needs is a wireless adapter that fits the clipper that it coincides with. You place it on the mat and it charges wirelessly. No more messy wires around your station, on or around it. You have 4 independent charging slots, as well as an additional one that you can use for your either wireless air press compressor, or you can use it for your cell phone to charge while you're cutting. All right, just give you that peace of mind that your tools will be charged as well as your cell phone. Get yours today at tune45.com.
All right, so as you can see on this side, I didn't use the zero open in this area, so you can see that pretty distinct line. I can use the clipper or I can use my thinning shears. Right now I'm just gonna go with it all the way open, a zero all the way open, and just lightly kind of lift those hairs. All right, so in this little weighty area, I can go ahead and use thinning shears to kind of keep the length of the hair, but to remove some of the darkness. Or I can come in and real carefully use shears to remove that. So right now I'm just gonna go ahead and tap at this with the corner of my thinning shear, kind of knock out some of that bulk. So is it pulling?
Yeah, a little.
So now what I'm doing with the thinning shears, if I see any darker spots, I can come in with the thinning shears and I can just kind of tap at those dark areas. So all around the head, I can just go. If I see any dark spots, because the thing is, we went with the same length guard on here. However, sometimes the groupings of the hair are a little more condensed and make it look like a darker spot. So I just go around and just start tapping at those to kind of make any little spots disappear and make it look more even. So right now I'm just coming in looking for any bulk in the parietal ridge area, and just kind of hitting that with my shears. Are you wanting to try the 3?
Yeah, like bro, like the thing that I don't like the most is like this right here, like this triangle right here is just too heavy for me.
So we want to keep this though, but then kind of knock that triangle down.
Yeah, and then this big ass damn wave right here. I got a lot going on, man.
So how about back here? You want to bring something down too?
So from like right here back, I need to preserve all I got left, okay?
So from right here back, so we're gonna come in here with the number 3. So we did the 4 all over, but because this is thicker in this triangle area right up front, he was just showing us, we're just gonna come in, go with the grain in this area. I'm gonna take it all the way down to the front so we can knock that bulk off. I'm being careful with the corners though, because the corners aren't as thick as this middle section. How short did you want the bang area?
Whatever is gonna keep it dark, but it lay down. I've even had guys use the powder in my hair. Like I think Sean cut my hair before and used the powder, texture powder.
I think I used the texture powder last time you were on my chair.
Oh yeah.
So okay, you got a full.
So go small right, man. So you go back once you got